Hey friends, what's good? Derek here from Bomb Socks with more Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ, one bite at a time. So we're concluding this week of our Come Follow Me study of Matthew chapter 1 and Luke chapter 1 with an introduction to Blessed art thou among women, Mary, who at the time most likely was probably in her mid-teens, still trying to figure out life. And what happens? An angel shows up and says, hey, you're going to have a baby. And she's like, interesting. Verse 34 of Luke chapter 1, how shall this be, seeing I know not a man? I've never been with a man. Verse 35, the angel answered and said unto her, the Holy Ghost shall come upon thee, and the power of the highest shall overshadow thee. Therefore also that holy thing, which I love that, which has been born of thee, shall be called the Son of God. Behold, thy cousin Elizabeth, she also hath conceived in her old age, and this is the 6th month with her, who was called barren, was being the operative term right there. Now, we lead now to one of the coolest verses in the New Testament. It is 7 words long, but it is powerful. The phrase, for with God nothing shall be impossible. This is the angel just saying, look, with God, it's fine. We can do this. As long as God is involved, it's fine. You'll be okay. If I were studying this, one of the things I would do, if you've got a group of people in your family, this might be kind of a fun way to do this. Assign each person a word. There's 7 words there. For with God, nothing shall be impossible. Assign each one of them a word. And let them really study, even everything from for to be, everything like that. Not all the words are created equal here. So if you decide to focus on some of these words and you really study them out, one of the fun things you can do also, take that word, translate it to a different language, and then bring it back into English if that's your native language. You do it however you want with that. But bring it back and see what it teaches you about that with this idea of for with God, nothing shall be impossible. I think you'd have a cool experience all of a sudden putting that together and really studying that phrase out. I mean, it's on the surface, it's a simple concept. As long as God's involved, everything is possible. But you really study it out, there's some cool things. For example, you focus on the word with. Okay, now this can be taken a couple different ways. For with God, nothing shall be impossible. Meaning, as long as God's there, it's going to be fine. But I also like the word with. Now, I took the word with, which again, everybody knows what the word with means, right? But trying to define it is kind of tough. It means accompanied by, in the company of, or escorted by. So you put that in there. For in the company of God, nothing shall be impossible. Or accompanied by God, nothing shall be impossible. Or I really like this one. For escorted by God, nothing shall be impossible. As soon as I saw that, I thought of Doctrine and Covenants section 112, verse 10, where it says, be thou humble, and the Lord thy God shall lead thee by thy hand and give thee answer to thy prayers. Escorted by God. I love that. So if you and I are willing to just put our hand out to God and say, if this is what you want me to do, I am willing to do it. And the Lord's like, I got you. You know, there's a number of times, Old Testament, we read in Isaiah where it talks about how we reach out to the Lord. He will take us by our right hand and he will lead us and we'll be able to work through these things in our lives. I love that idea of with God. As long as God is involved, all things are possible. You think about all the cross references you can put with this. Philippians 4:13, which is our mutual theme for this year. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. So that's another one that you could put with this. You really study this out. You study the word impossible. You study the word shall. Shall is a fun word to play with. So you go through some of those things. I think it enables us to naturally do what Mary did in verse 38. And Mary said, behold, the handmaid of the Lord, be it unto me according to thy word. And the angel departed from her. That's that, I will go and do the things which the Lord hath commanded me. The angel says, with God, nothing shall be impossible. And Mary's like, okay, where do I sign up? Because as long as God is involved, I remember seeing a quote one time where it says, 2 men can accomplish anything as long as one of them is God. And so I think that principle right there, you could really have some fun with. And we've studied it a lot before. This is not a new concept in the scriptures, but if you take it from that perspective and really study it out, I think there's some cool things that you can see to help us gain more perspective and even more appreciation for Mary and for all that she did. She is indeed blessed among women. A lot of it because she just is faithful and was willing to do what the Lord asked her to do. And I think the Lord can do some amazing things with us as well. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for sharing these messages. We're so grateful, as always, that you do that. If you haven't already, please check out our amazingly comfortable gospel-themed socks at bombsocks.com. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Godspeed. Bye-bye.